Tonight on Exposure. It's hard to sleep when you're counting sheep, hungry for revenge. Then crime doesn't pay in a future under digital control. Plus, animated raves and fully armored babes. And what planet are you from? One boy's mission to escape Mother Earth.
Sci-Fi short film program. Exposure.
We begin tonight with Hello, Dolly from director Mariko Hoshi. Born and raised in Tokyo, Japan, Hoshi is a lifelong fan of animation, and after seeing Pixar's Tin Toy, decided to try her hand at it as well. In the U.S., she studied graphic design and computer animation at San Francisco State University.
When I was thinking about the project for the class, I just heard the news about the cloning, sheep cloning, and I thought that would be a really good material for a funny story, actually, because it's actually really funny and at the same time scary.
From the San Francisco Zoo, director Mariko Hoshi.
Making Hello, Dolly took me a long time. It took me about 2 years. I think I have a really good patience for something I like to do. And then especially for animation, I always kind of dream about how it's going to look like at the end. I want to keep making my own animation. I think that's kind of like my life work. I want to keep creating something, whatever it is.
Later, a stranded alien must escape the 7th grade.
Let's play dodgeball!
And coming up, believe the unbelievable.
I knew that I wanted to do something really cinematic.
Enter a state of mind known as Oregon. When exposure, the future of film continues.
Exposure.
My son.
Here, we need desert power.
You belong to your time. I was bred to my destiny.
It is this more deep I'm curious about.
I am the instrument of his family's demise.
They tried to take the life of my son!
This place is changing me.
You are asking too much of yourself.
The surface of this planet is ours.
It's time to draw this more deep into the open.
I didn't want to create a god.
You have no idea. You are desert power, and nothing can stop you.
Frank Herbert's Dune, the masterpiece of science fiction. Now the all-new television event, December 3rd.
It will take more than courage to survive what's coming.
Only on Sci-Fi.
We continue tonight with Oregon from director Rafael Fernandez. With a degree in creative writing, Fernandez moved to San Francisco to become a writer in 1994. Instead, he became a self-taught computer programmer and lived in a world of cubicles for 5 years. Now, from the Metreon Center in San Francisco, California, director Rafael Fernandez.
Oregon's essentially about people and technology, people evolving with technology in an attempt to make the world better, more efficient. And I love computers, and people always ask if I made an anti-technology film. And no, I love technology, but there's obviously the possibility that this could lead to negative effects.
Daniel. I want to brief you on the Oregon situation. We've experienced a minor inconvenience. I want you to make this your top priority.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm.
Coming up, they know your location. They've identified your code. Now run for your life. The conclusion of Oregon, when exposure continues.
Exposure.
Now, exposure continues with the conclusion of Oregon. Director Rafael Fernandez.
I've always been interested in filmmaking. I think people in general, you put these barriers on yourself, and it's like, and this is how I was thinking, only other people make films. One day I was like, no, screw that, I'm not going to be like that anymore. I'm going to make a film. I'm really fascinated by evolution and how things don't always evolve in the correct order. I see a world where people's kind of memories are almost going to become kind of congruent, because when you have the internet, if you forget something, you just look it up. And as soon as people start going to the same places to look it up, the data is shared in that sense. So those are some of the ideas that I toy around with. So what we did with the fax noises was we created an audio CD, kind of assembled some noises that we thought might sound good in the film. And then I met with each of the actors, gave them a copy of the CD, kind of showed them how I envisioned the mouth movements. And then they each went out on their own and kind of developed their own unique styles. Oregon is completely redefined as a word. I'll see it on license plates, and I don't think of the state anymore. I think of this world.
Next, you're invited to the hottest party of the new millennium.
The oddballs, they're all coming together, having a good time, and just having their freak party.
Plus, heavy metal thunder. Lock and load with the sexiest adventurer this side of Lara Croft. When exposure continues.
Exposure.
In anticipation of your runaway success. Frank Herbert's Dune, the masterpiece of science fiction. Now the all-new television event, December 3rd.
It will take more than courage to survive what's coming.
Only on Sci-Fi.
We continue tonight with Dualität from director Gene Nazarov. Born and raised in Estonia, Nazarov emigrated to the U.S. 8 years ago and earned a degree in computer animation from SVA. What's next? A regular job in order to escape living with his parents.
Music has a rhythm. I think images just have a rhythm as well, and it's kind of like an orchestra. Image and sound, they can both come together and just become one. I think everybody felt a little bit as an outsider in their life, and this one just portraying that the whole outsiders are just the community. Maybe they are the insiders as opposed to the outside.
From the Future of Film Festival in New York City, director Gene Nazarov.
I guess when I'm offered to go to the club, I don't refuse.
Break it down.
Dualität is basically, I think, is a short story about oddballs and freaks just coming together, feeling good about themselves, you know, enjoying who they are and throwing a party and having a good time. The name of Dualität means duality. It's an understandable explanation. There's two sides to everything. The influence of the film, it's a little bit of reality, a little bit of fantasy, and a little bit of a television. I have to admit that I watch a lot of music videos, and it's kind of the whole captivating atmosphere, kind of that the vertigo kind of sucking you in, and just that pure entertainment value. It took me something like 9 months to complete it, but it was a whole overwhelming experience. It's like nurturing a baby. You have those emotional ups and downs. By the time the product is complete, and you show it on the screen, you're thinking to yourself, you just can't help feeling like, oh my God, I'm a mother.
Now from the computer animation artists at Ritual Entertainment, it's Heavy Metal Fact 2, a computer game based on the popular character from Heavy Metal 2000. FAC is modeled after B-movie star Julie Strain and created by Kevin Eastman, the mind behind the Ninja Turtles. Now, from the offices of Ritual Entertainment, the creative team behind FAC 2.
Violence is a big bonfire in society that I'm sitting on the side with a little can of lighter fluid. I didn't start the fire, and I'm surely not feeding it with great amounts of fuel, but I'm definitely not helping.
I'm glad for the time I wasted on video games when I was young.
They wanted this game to be where, like, you're totally sucked in. You can't put it down. You freaking call into work the next day because you stayed up till 5 in the morning to finish the game.
I think Heavy Metal Fact 2 is very indicative of the kind of games that you'll see coming out of Ritual in the future, and the kind of games that we're really proud of doing.
Try to escape. You are in my control. Gaze into the eyes of your destruction.
Next, to escape the horrors of junior high, it helps to be from another world. It's Earth versus Zoltar from Zoron, when exposure, the future of film, continues.
Exposure.
Our final film tonight is Zoltar From Zoron by director Eric Pazel. Born in Munich, Pazel grew up on American army bases in Germany and England. He later studied philosophy, spent time in the Marines, and even trained as a New York City ambulance driver before earning a degree in film from USC.
I have a fascination with junk because I just do. It's just so fascinating, you know, what other people's lives have been. Right in here. Oh, I lost it. It's my suitcase carrier. One day somebody just said, asked me what I was doing with my life when I was 27 and living in a group house with a bunch of other guys. And I said, well, I'm still deciding what I don't want. That would be a great wall ornament. Zoltar From Zoron is my short film. And it's about a 12-year-old boy who thinks he's an alien.
All systems go. The sound suppression water system is now being armed. Solid rocket booster development flight instrumentation recorder has gone to the record mode. T-minus 21 seconds and counting. SOB engine nozzle profile is now underway. T-minus 16 seconds. T-minus 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everyone wears a mask. It hides you from the world and keeps people from knowing who you really are inside. It keeps you safe. I'm Commander Zoltar from the planet Zoron. I'm only a visitor here.
Go for auto sequence start.
Program initiated.
The hydraulic power units have started. T-minus 21 seconds, and the solid rocket booster engine gimbal now underway.
Good roll program confirmed.
Hey, Space Cadet, quit hogging the bathroom.
You're gonna be late for school. My kids are up and up. Hey, stop, all right? You gotta go home.
Come on,
baby. Jimmy, come on, I'm coming in there.
Beautiful freak.
Oh, yeah. Will you get dressed?
Just like you.
Where the hell did Turd go? Yo, Jimmy, get the lead out or I'm gonna have to take a belt to your butt.
I love you. Beautiful freak. Beautiful freak. That is why I love you. Beautiful freak. Beautiful freak.
Hey, loser. Hey, dumb mother. You bald-headed. You can't afford to pay for the drinks. At least have the courtesy to tell me before you take the money out of my purse.
What are you looking at, you geek?
Jimmy, hurry up. I'll meet you at the back of the car. Something. We got late. Hey, stay in the car. Stay there.
I know my clothes are
little pansies. Let's play dodgeball.
Hey! You want some space food? Dip!
What we find when we enter puberty is that we're all different. And we all develop at different rates. Sometimes we feel embarrassed by this because we want to fit in. But we shouldn't try to hide our differences. We should embrace them and celebrate our uniqueness. So, we're going to play a game called Hot Seat. Someone sits in the middle, and everyone writes a question to ask that person. All right, form a circle.
Is it true you watch Baywatch more to check out David Hasselhoff's butt than Pamela Anderson's nanas?
How many Father's Day cards do you buy on Father's Day?
Is it true your mother's like a doorknob? Hasn't everyone had a turn?
Okay, class. Let's settle down here.
Let's move away from talking about Jimmy's parents.
Shirley, come on, you've underestimated me, you pitiful, dull earthling.
Jimmy, had a little problem today, didn't we? Celeste, we've been seeing a lot of each other these days, haven't we?
Yeah, so? What do you want?
I'd like to hear from you, Celeste. What do you think the problem is?
I don't think there is a problem.
In my professional counselor opinion, Jimmy Schroeder, 12, is suffering from extreme delusional fantasies triggered by a home setting that is inappropriate and ill-equipped to deal with Jimmy's dementia. I hereby strongly recommend he become a ward of the state if his home life does not improve drastically in the immediate future. Ms. Jane Newell, school counselor, LA Unified School District. Mrs. Schroeder, Celeste, I don't want to play games. Look, I cannot afford to have a wacko at my school.
Wacko? There is nothing wrong with Jimmy. He's perfectly normal.
Next, we have ignition. Let the countdown begin.
Jimmy, what are you doing up there?
The conclusion to Zoltar From Zoron. When exposure, the future of film continues.
Exposure.
Now, exposure continues with the conclusion of Zoltar From Zoron.
Now controlling. Roll program initiated. Good roll program confirmed. 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs. Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles. Downrange distance 3 nautical miles. Minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance.
Jimmy, what are you doing up there? Okay. Okay, Commander Zoltar. Don't do anything. I'll be right up.
Jimmy!
Celeste, we've got a bit of a situation here.
Yeah, I can see that. What exactly is going on?
Well, that's why we
Controllers
called
here
you.
looking very carefully at the situation.
So you don't even know what he's doing up here?
Not yet, so why don't you give him a little talk?
Great, okay, look, thanks. I'll take it from here.
Okay, slow and easy, Celeste. Slow and easy.
Jimmy! Get away from the ledge, please.
Jump, 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 jump,
What are you doing?
jump, 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 jump.
This is Mission Control, Houston. We have no additional word at this time.
Hey, Commander. Why don't you come over here and join Mother Commander for a minute, huh? You look pretty silly up there on the roof today. What are you trying to accomplish?
It's very sad. Is your granddaughter?
You know something I don't know?
Zoltar knows all. He has powers you Earthlings don't.
Look, Jimmy, this is it. Tomorrow we are throwing all of this alien crap out.
Each day, I wait to return to Zoron. At night, I dream of rockets. And I dream of my Zoronian brothers and sisters. I miss them. And I'm lonely. But I know I will be with them soon. No judgment. No mask.
Obviously a major malfunction.
From Aviation Warehouse in the middle of the Mojave Desert, director Eric Pazel.
I think individuality for teenagers in this country has been co-opted. As soon as something becomes rebellious, it becomes a consumer good and commodified so quickly in this culture. And part of what I like about Jimmy is that I hope that we're portraying somebody that's a true individual. One of the things that's important, I think, about raising children that my parents is just let kids be kids. And that's part of Zoltar, is that the boy he's strange. He's a strange boy. Woohoo! On top of the world! I'm more of a fan of celebrating diversity and imagination. And part of the film, for me, one of the messages is that, you know, here we have a boy who's incredibly, obviously intelligent and imaginative and creative, and all he gets from it is abuse from the world. Picking up this fuselage and I'm going home.
Expose the world to your cinematic creations. Send all animated and live-action films to Sci-Fi for possible on-air exposure. For more information, log on now to exposure.sci-fi.com. Then, re-expose yourself to tonight's short film selections and see extended interviews with their creators. And join us next week for more short films on Sci-Fi's cutting-edge filmmaking forum, Exposure.